Long ago, in the bustling city of Enugu, there lived a beautiful young girl. Her name is Chizaram, but is popularly called Zara by her parents. Chizaram is a very beautiful and intelligent girl. Chizaram always had the dream of becoming an architect, as she has always watched her father draw various plans whenever he returned from work. One fateful day, after they had shared the dinner, her father slept that night and never woke up. The cause of his death was unknown to anyone, as even his company tried to figure out what had killed their most trusted staff, but they couldn't figure it out. 3 weeks down the line, after her father had passed, her father's brother came and kicked them out of the house, leaving them penniless, leaving them to roam on the streets of Enugu with no one to fend for them, with no one to console them. Her mother, Mrs. Nneka, who was pained and devastated by all her husband's brother had done to her, she couldn't believe that they could chase her out of her own home, despite all the love and care she had shown their family while she was married to their brother. Mrs. Nneka had only one talent, and that was cooking. She derived joy when she was cooking, as she loved to cook, and that was her specialty. With nothing to do, Mrs. Nneka had to empty her bank account in order to open a small Buka store so as to send Chizaram to school. As time went on, Mama Nneka's Buka store became the talk of the town in Enugu. Everyone wanted to test her beautiful egusi soup, her outstanding akidi. The way she makes her okpa was something everybody could not just imagine. She was unique. Her okpa tasted different. It had this beautiful aroma that could elevate the soul. Every morning, the moment she opens her store and starts screaming, "Wanyi okpa, biago," there will be a large crowd in her store. People wanted to buy her okpa. People wanted to buy her akidi. She was known in the city of Enugu, and that was how breakthrough came her way, because with the money she was able to generate from her small Buka shop, she was able to send her beautiful daughter Chizaram to the university. Chizaram, who is a very intelligent girl, fought so hard and achieved her dream of being an architect. She did not give up in any way. Though while in school, she faced a lot of trials and temptation, a lot of belittling by her colleagues, as they always referred to her as a local girl. Chizaram was not given the pleasure of life, as she had to manage every little penny her mom sent her while she was in school. She could not live the luxurious life most of her schoolgirls were living. She didn't go to nightclub because she knew any mistake she made while she was in school was going to affect her greatly. Chizaram tried her very best to make her mother proud, having remembered all they went through from the hands of her father's brother. After school, Chizaram graduated with first class. She was the best student in her year. She was so glad that she didn't bring her mother any shame. After school and service, Chizaram started applying for jobs in various architectural firms, but she didn't get any, and she thought to herself, instead of sitting at home and whiling away time or roaming the streets of Enugu without seeing any job, why don't I join my mother in the Buka store? Moreover, I also know how to cook, and I also love cooking like my mom. And that was how Chizaram joined her mother in the Buka store. Mrs. Nneka was so upset when Chizaram told her that she wanted to join her in the Buka store. And she told her, I did not labor so as for you to come and join me and cook. I want you to maintain your beauty. I don't want you putting your hand in firewood. Chizaram, my daughter, I totally understand. But one thing I want you to know is that you can't give up even when you haven't tried. I did not tell you in any way that you have to remain in Enugu with me. You don't have to only apply in Enugu. Even when you were in school, I took care of myself. You don't have to be in Enugu because you feel you need to take care of me. I know I'm getting old, but at the same time, the pride and joy of a mother comes when they see their children excelling and excelling well. So please and please, stop applying only in Enugu and try to apply in various states around Nigeria. Chizaram listened to her mom and started applying in various states in Nigeria. As time went on, Chizaram got a job offer from a company in Abuja. When Chizaram got to the company and she was interviewed, Chizaram did outstanding well. Chizaram was the best applicant for that day. She did exceedingly well, and the company gave her an offer letter and told her when she was to resume. Chizaram was so glad that she quickly went home to share the good news with her mom. Her mom was so excited. Her mom was so glad for her and told her that, you see why I told you that you don't limit yourself to a particular environment. I'm so glad, my daughter. Her mom packed foods for her so as she could use to journey back to the city of Abuja. The day for Chizaram to resume in Crescent architectural fame, when she got to the company, she was told that sorry, she wasn't given an offer letter. Unknown to her, a wealthy man has paid way for his son to take her slot, as he wasn't okay with his son staying at home. Chizaram was so devastated. She couldn't believe that she got the job 1 minute and is losing the job the next minute. She was so heartbroken. She did not know how to return back to Enugu to break the news to her mom. After days of thinking, after days of sitting in her room and asking herself why her, is life always supposed to steal her joy? She made up her mind to open her own little Buka shop there in Abuja, since she loved cooking like her mom. So Chizaram opened the little Buka shop. Chizaram was so excited as she always had customers trooping in. Her smoky jollof rice was something everyone wanted to have a taste. Chizaram, who opened her Buka shop in the heart of Abuja, where businessmen and women of all kinds could patronize her, could see her and have a taste of her delicious meal. Chizaram was excelling well in her Buka shop that she forgot totally of architecture. She was so happy that she had a profession she liked and something that she loved doing. That was cooking. Chizaram continued to cook, neglecting to apply for any architectural job. She was so happy. As time went on, her Buka shop increased and Chizaram decided to improve her skills in architecture. She told herself she was just trying to gather knowledge, not because she wanted to go back into the labor market, that she was so happy being her own boss and being able to control and manage her Buka shop. So Chizaram improved her knowledge in various ways. On the other part of Abuja, there lived a big businessman named Olisa. He had his own architectural firm. Olisa is a proud, rude workaholic. He always expects perfection from his staff. Olisa had rules in his workplace and he was greatly feared by his staff. Olisa does not take rubbish from anyone. One day, Zara came to deliver food at Olisa's architectural firm for his staff, and she mistakenly bumped into him. Olisa rained insult on her, calling her a low-life twat, a dirty pig, and so many others. Zara tried to apologize to him, but instead of Olisa to listen to whatsoever she had to say, Olisa asked the security men to bundle her out of his architectural firm. Zara told him, "Please excuse me. I walked into this architectural firm myself and I'm going to leave myself. I see no reason why you look down on people. We are all human beings." Olisa looked at her and said, "And who are you?" Zara was still trying to introduce herself, and Olisa said, "All I can see here is a delivery woman. Get out." Zara dropped the mail and walked out of the architectural firm. She really felt angry. She was so upset with the way Olisa had spoken to her. Olisa, who was rushing out of the architectural firm for a meeting, had already gotten stains of egusi soup all over his body. He was so upset. He had to go back home to change before heading out for his meeting. One day, he asked Lisa, his PA, to get him lunch from his favorite Chinese restaurant. But when Lisa had gotten to the Chinese restaurant, she was told that his special delicacy wasn't available at the moment. If she could wait for an hour 30 minutes, it was going to be made for her. But Lisa knew she couldn't waste as much as 1 hour 30 minutes. As on arrival to the architectural firm, Lisa was going to make a big deal out of it, not considering the fact that she had to wait for his meal. So Lisa quickly went to Zara Buka shop and got him jollof rice, salad, and turkey. When Lisa came back with the meal, Lisa noticed that the bag she was holding wasn't that of the Chinese restaurant, but he kept calm. He just wanted to know what Lisa had brought for him to eat. When Lisa opened the meal to dish in his office plate, he loved the aroma of the meal. After Lisa had given him the meal, he ate and appreciated the meal very well. And he quickly asked Lisa, "This isn't the Chinese rice I asked you to get." Lisa was trembling where she was standing as she thought Olisa was going to give her a query. But to her greatest surprise, Olisa asked, "Where did you get this meal from? It's quite unique, quite different. I know it's a Nigerian restaurant, but it's very nice." So Lisa told him that she got the food from Zara's Buka shop, and he was shocked. "You say Zara Buka?" God, Lisa, why a Buka shop? Why not a restaurant? Lisa told him it's actually a restaurant, but she named it a Buka shop. Lisa said, "No problem. I'll check it out myself, and I pray it's a neat place. If not, you'll hear from me." After work for that day, Olisa decided to check Zara's Buka shop. On getting to Zara's Buka shop, it was a nice, beautiful shop. The shop was very, very organized, neatly organized. It wasn't the regular Buka shop he knew. He appreciated the ambience that came from the shop. So he quickly told his friends that he had found a new hangout for them. Since he was hosting the boys this Saturday, they were going to come to Zara's Buka shop to have a meal. On getting to Zara's Buka shop, his friends Uche and Toby ordered for okwa, whereas Olisa sticked to his rice. His friends really appreciated the food. They were so glad that Olisa had brought them to a nice restaurant that cooked African dish the way it should be. Toby, one of the friends, quickly told him, "This food tastes exactly like that of my mother. Whosoever made this food must be an old woman because the ingredients stand out. I'm not testing too much mage like the ones we test from other restaurants. It's quite nice." As time went on, Olisa and his friends made Zara Buka shop their constant shop. They always ate from there, ordering their lunch back from there. Zara Buka shop was the go-to for them for anything. One day, Olisa asked Lisa to please book an appointment with Zara's Buka shop, as he would love to use them for his father's upcoming 70th birthday. So Lisa went to Zara's Buka shop and met with Chizaram and booked an appointment with Chizaram for Olisa's father's upcoming 70th birthday. But during the day Olisa was to meet with Chizaram, he had an emergency meeting. So Lisa met with Chizaram and gave her all the necessary information that was needed for the event. So Chizaram prepared herself for the upcoming event. During Olisa's father's 70th birthday, every guest had something to say of how spectacular the meal stood out. They admired the beauty of the hall, but something that kept them talking was the meal. It was fantastic. It was something that was nice, unique, loving. When the event was over, Chizaram and her staff were trying to clear the stand they stood to share the meal. While on it, Olisa saw Chizaram and quickly asked her, "Who invited you to my occasion?" And Chizaram quickly introduced herself as the owner and the head chef of Zara Buka store. Olisa was surprised. "You mean you're the head chef? You mean your hand brings those glory? Wow, that's quite nice. Nobody would have thought that it was a young girl that was preparing all those meals." Chizaram blushed and told him, "Thank you." Olisa, who quickly apologized for the way he spoke to her the last time they met, telling Chizaram that that wasn't his true nature and he was in a bad mood that day. But Chizaram knew that that was his true nature, as most of his staff who had visited her Buka store always had something negative to say about him. She quickly dismissed it and told him, "Thank you very much for contacting Zara Buka store to host your father's 70th birthday. I'm so grateful. God bless." And she entered the vehicle and left. As time went on, Olisa and his friends kept on visiting Zara Buka store. One day, Olisa told his friend Uche Nancy of how he loved the head chef. They first teased him and told him, "You like old woman? Ah, I never know, you for tell me tete." But Olisa told them that the head chef wasn't an old woman. She's a young, beautiful lady, an outstanding lady. And they asked, "You dey sure?" So Olisa asked one of the waiters to call the head chef, that they wanted to make an order and they wanted the head chef to be the one to do it. So the waiter quickly called Chizaram, and when she came out, Olisa greeted her and introduced his friends to her. Chizaram greeted each and every one of them and they quickly placed their order. After Chizaram had left, Olisa told his friends, "You don't see him. Sure you see the girl say she fine." Uche and Toby were so surprised. Chizaram was so beautiful. With her natural hair, she looked so beautiful. And they quickly asked him, "What's the way forward? You don't tell him the way you dey feel, or you still dey hide inside your corner?" But Olisa told them, "My dear, I fuck up. Oh. The first day I see this girl, I watched the girl with insults, so I'm not sure she's going to even listen to what I have to say." His friends encouraged him not to give up and told him, "At least try. Make she reject you first. You go know say she reject you, but try. She seems like a nice person." As time went on, Olisa kept on visiting Zara's Buka shop, not because of the meal, but because he was trying to get Zara's attention. One day he walked up to Zara and told her how he genuinely felt about her, but Zara just smiled and told him, "No problem, I'll give it a thought." Zara liked Olisa as she had closely observed his bond with his friends and how they spoke. They weren't the irritable kind of men. They spoke about every lady in a very nice way. They didn't belittle anyone. But she knew how his staff also complained how he never gets impressed with whatsoever they did. So she didn't want to judge the book by just what the staff said, but she thought to herself, if she was going to go for it, she was going to give it a time so as to properly observe him. One fateful day, Olisa came into Zara's Buka shop with a building plan he had been trying to solve for a period of time and had not been able to fix just one puzzle. That morning, he was still on it when Chizaram had passed. She greeted him, but she knew his attention wasn't there as he was lost in his building plan. After she had changed into her attire, she walked up to him and greeted him again. Olisa was still lost in the building plan. Chizaram, who quickly noticed one or two mistakes that was making the building plan not to come in. So she quickly sat down and told him, "Good morning, Mr. Olisa." And he raised his head and told him, "Good morning, Chizaram. Sorry, please. I'm trying to fix this. I'll get to you in a minute." Chizaram, who looked at him and told him, "A minute? I'm coming, let me help you." Olisa looked at her and asked, "What do you know about architecture?" And Chizaram told him, "Nothing much, but I will be able to help you." Chizaram fixed the issue on the drawing plan and told him, "How do you see it?" Olisa was shocked. "Are you an architect?" he asked. Chizaram told him, "Yes, I am." Olisa said, "You must be joking, right? You can't be an architect." Chizaram told him, "I am an architect." And she introduced herself properly to Olisa. Everything about who she was, her full portfolio. Olisa was shocked. "So why did you pick up cooking? Though I know your food is nice, but why did you drop architecture?" Chizaram told him all she had encountered during her first visit to Abuja, and the moment she started trying out to cook, how people genuinely appreciated her food, and she decided to continue cooking. Olisa was really grateful. This building plan was for a multinational company and was to earn Olisa and his fame a whole lot of money. So having to get it and get it right the way they wanted was something that Olisa was so grateful about. He kept on thanking Chizaram, but Chizaram told him, "No problem. I am just so glad I could be of help." One fateful day, Olisa hosted the boys at the bar. As they were drinking, he kept on singing praises of Chizaram to the boys. How Chizaram helped him solve his building plan. The building plan that cost a lot. Building plan that he spent 3 weeks trying to fix the puzzle. Chizaram solved it by just looking at it once. And the boys told him, "That girl be girl of multiple talent though. Ha! That girl be full package oh." Uche quickly told Olisa, "If you no go ask her, me I go ask am out though. If I get that kind of person for house, my day don't complete. Wetin I dey look for outside again? Person wey hot, she sabi cook. She can't get plenty talent." Olisa no waste time oh. Olisa kept on thinking about the words his friends said to him. Chizaram had always been in the picture. Chizaram was the girl he loved, not just because of the facts she knew about architecture, but her simplicity. Every day he visited Zara Buka's store, he saw the way she spoke to her staff. She spoke to her staff as if they were friends. She spoke to her staff with respect, with love for one another. He loved everything about her. Olisa kept on pressing on with his feelings for Chizaram. One day, while they went out for a dinner, Chizaram told him, "There are some things I like about you, and there are some things I feel you need to work on. I don't know, but I feel like you're a bit harsh at work. You're a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. But we should tend to put our staff at a very good grade. When you show them respect, they respect you in return. There's a difference between being respected and being feared. So I feel like you should work on that part." Olisa smiled. While Chizaram kept on saying whatsoever she had to say, Olisa was blushing. He was just looking at her and blushing. When Chizaram was done talking, so Olisa opened up to him about all he did in his workplace. He told Chizaram how his father had told him that it is necessary to make your walls very high as the boss so that your staff don't look down on you. Chizaram totally understood the rules he grew up with, but also made him understand that having a better relationship with them will give you a better output. Olisa thanked her for her advice and promised to work towards it. As time went on, Olisa and Chizaram built a very beautiful bond, a bond that was greatly admired by everyone. They loved one another. Their bond grew deeper, stronger, and perfect. Chizaram was always by Olisa's side, helping him whenever he needed her. And that was how the Buka girl he once looked down on saved him multiple times, because Chizaram was always there in the picture. Whenever he had a plan, he always took it to Chizaram to cross check. Chizaram was his golden fish, like he always called her. They lived happily ever after, got married, and had beautiful children. The end.